The actual cybersecurity skill can be learned. No one's born a cybersecurity expert. Everyone starts from the same point of not knowing nothing and they learn the skills. What's important is you have to enjoy learning those skills, and more so in cybersecurity, you have to constantly enjoy learning and developing those skills. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cyber Revolution podcast. I'm Adam Hewitt, CEO of Cyber Revolution, and today I'm joined by a current student of ours, Dyllen. Dyllen, how are you going?
Yeah, good, Adam. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for coming on. Dyllen recently completed his studies with us and as a result has landed his first cybersecurity role. So I thought, why not get Dyllen on? He's gone through the whole process, got his certifications, gone through our job ready program and has landed himself a role. So first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
How you landed this role is a little bit unique as well. Which is something that I guess how you've gone into this new cybersecurity role is something I think, yes, it's unique, but it's going to be something a lot of businesses start actually doing, which we'll get into more throughout this episode. Before we do, I want to give our new listeners of the podcast a bit of an overview of who the podcast is for. So Cyber Revolution, we are Australia's only dedicated cybersecurity training and placement organisation. We specialise in finding people their first job in cybersecurity. Now, over the years, we've been doing the podcast now for about a year and a half. Cyber Revolution's been running and helping people get into the cyber industry for about 4 years now. And we have been always inundated with questions around still what I need to do to get into this industry. All right. And so this is a way that we can answer those questions to the masses. So that's why we started this podcast. We want to break down some common misconceptions about how you can get into cybersecurity and mainly educate people on what cybersecurity is and how you can land your first job. So if that sounds interesting, if that resonates with you, then this is the podcast for you. All right, Dyllen, let's get into it. Let's start from the very beginning where I do with all of my guests. I guess, what were you doing for work before you decided to upskill and look at this thing called cybersecurity?
Yeah, so I've been doing Helpdesk roles for roughly 2 and a bit years now, just jumping from job to job. And then I saw the ad and I was like, I can't keep doing Helpdesk roles for the rest of my life. Yeah, so I signed up. But yeah, sorry, so I was doing Helpdesk roles.
And why couldn't you see yourself doing a Helpdesk role for the rest of your life?
It's the same. It's not the same thing no matter what, but, it is the same thing. It changes for job, but you're doing the same job and it doesn't pay amazing either. So
okay. Yeah. So you're looking for a bit of a step up into a new, more exciting, I guess, field.
Yeah, that's it.
And for a bit of variety. Okay. So you saw my face, I'm assuming, pop up on, apologize for that as well, my mug popping up on a Facebook ad. What was it about that ad, or what was it about the timing that you're like, you know what, I am going to inquire about this and I am going to, as you say, enroll and sign up? Anything specific?
Yeah, I think it was the ad made it sound, and not that it sounded, but like with the ad, it was like a lot of support was given throughout the process. And because it's a big job getting into cyber, it's a lot of work and it's not guaranteed. And so yes, the ad made it seem pretty well guaranteed as long as you put in the work.
Yep, exactly. As long as you put in the work and you're interested in the study, then the results will come your way. And so why cybersecurity? What is it about the cybersecurity field that really piqued your interest? Yeah,
I was interested in it and I dropped off and on. I think mostly the variety of it, especially red teaming and threat investigation.
Yep.
Been the most interesting to me. Just the variety and the problem solving aspect of it all.
I guess, as you said, the opposite to the monotonous help desk role where you're kind of doing the same thing day in, day out. When you're in a cyber role and you're constantly problem solving, those problems can change every day. Then that's probably what, as you said, was the main attraction for you. Now, you managed to land your first role in the cybersecurity industry, which is amazing. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, how did you land the role? Because I get a lot of guests on the show, and it's more traditional. They do our certifications, they go through our job ready program, they get a job with our placement partner, and they go through that internal, that recruitment process where they have to apply with their resumes, maybe do a psychometric test, maybe do some face-to-face interviews or over Zoom, and then they find out they get the job. Yours is a bit different, which is interesting. Tell everyone about that.
Yeah, so in our current role, we look after an application that the government uses. And so they brought in like a team of security consultants to look at it. And so me and my other colleague ran them through the system and everything that connects to it. And during it, I must have made some impression because when they were reporting to all the big bosses, they were like, "Yeah, we need to make all these changes and just get Dyllen to do them all." And so that's how it went.
Amazing. So the security consultants, external consultants came in. They said, here are your problems. You need people to be able to obviously fix these problems. It's not all just going to be, about this software. And then you were recommended by those security consultants or someone internally, and they go, hey, Dyllen's actually could be a potentially really good fit for that. They then approached you, I'm assuming, go, hey, is this something you're interested in? Did they know you were studying cybersecurity at the time?
Yeah, I raised it with my director and said, "Hey, I'm doing all these certifications. If anything comes up, like I want to put my hand up for it." So yeah, so I kind of had a bit of an in already.
Yeah. They already knew that you were, a really good worker. You fit in with the culture of the business, and you were studying cybersecurity certifications, which obviously helps as well. And this is something I think, as I mentioned at the start of the episode, organizations are going to start doing a lot of. There's a lack of obviously cybersecurity professionals in Australia. And if you know somebody already is a really good person, they're a good worker, they fit in well with the company culture, and they want to get into cybersecurity, it's a lot easier for an employer to be able to go, I already trust Dyllen. I know that he's a good worker. Let's either upskill him, or he's already upskilling himself. Let's just internally promote our team already, as opposed to going out to the market, having to recruit, having to potentially pay recruiters a lot of money. Cybersecurity recruiters get 15, 20%, right? Which is a lot. So you want to look at internalizing that recruitment and upskilling your own team. So that's something that we're seeing quite a fair bit of. We're just starting to see that. And I think it's really good. So if you're listening and you're in an organization right now, typically this is for large organizations, governments, or big companies, and you're starting with us, or you want to get into cybersecurity and you're not in that field, but your organization has a cybersecurity aspect to it, let management know. Let your team leader know. Go, hey, I want to get into that space. I'm willing to invest in myself, and how can I get there? I think it's really, really important, mate. So well done. You must be pumped. When did you start the job?
It was December, technically.
Okay. So then you went on break, I'm assuming?
Yeah, well, so what technically happened was they approached me and they said, "Hi, I'm going to this role. We need to get all this work done by the end of November." And then November came, and then like it was just procurement problems. So I technically started the role in December.
Okay. And so how have you found it so far? I know it's probably only a few weeks of actually in the role. You might be, doing some induction stuff, but how have you found it?
It's good. It's really good actually. Yeah, it's just good and it's exciting. I'm learning lots of things.
Cool. So it's not completely different. I don't want to, bag out the IT help desk role all that much, because it's a good role. But what's the difference? Why is it a lot better? Why is it more exciting now that you're in that cybersecurity role?
I'm just doing different things. Like I've learned a lot about the systems, and I've had to learn a lot to make these changes. And I think that's the most exciting thing is learning as I'm doing.
Learning new skills. People listening to the podcast, this is the number one thing. If they go, I'm not sure whether cybersecurity is for me. I don't have any technical skills. I don't have a bachelor's or a master's in cybersecurity. That's why organizations like us exist, right? And companies have internal training programs. The actual cybersecurity skill can be learned. No one's born a cybersecurity expert. Everyone starts from the same point of not knowing nothing, and they learn the skills. What's important is you have to enjoy learning those skills, and more so in cybersecurity, you have to constantly enjoy learning and developing those skills. So if you're someone like that, like yourself, Dyllen, if you're a lifelong learner, then cybersecurity is going to be a good fit for you. I was having lunch with a cybersecurity expert not all that long ago, and he's still upskilling and doing certifications. He's been in the industry for 20, 30 years, which I thought was pretty cool. So I guess on training, you've obviously decided and you trusted us in getting you the right skills and getting you the right certifications to land your cybersecurity job. Why did you decide to join us over other training providers?
I didn't look a lot at other training providers, because I did check out the Uni of Adelaide, I think it was. But I think it was the support and the proven track record of getting people jobs after completing their training is probably where a lot of the other training providers don't have.
I think that's important, right? They don't really focus and don't really focus too much on the post certifications, especially the big universities, right? It's impossible for a big university like a University of Adelaide or University of Sydney, whoever it might be. They've got thousands of students, they've got hundreds of degrees on scope. They can't be able to deliver really good training and then deliver really good post certifications or post qualification support in regards to career advice, job ready programs, and helping them land a job. That'd be an impossible task, which is obviously why we just do one industry. It's hard, trust me. It's a tough enough process, providing that 100% end-to-end solution for people in one industry, let alone hundreds. I think so. I'm glad you made the choice, and obviously it's paid off for you. On that, I want to talk a little bit about your studies. Jason, your student support officer, I had a chat with him this morning and also yesterday about you and why he thought you would be, you were so successful within your studies. He's got his thoughts, obviously, but before I mention what he said, why do you think you were successful within your studies?
I think I just did the work. There wasn't any special, like I just watched the videos and read the books, and then when I'd finished them, I just did the practice tests. So to kind of, cement it, and then I went for the exam.
Nice. Keep it simple.
Yeah, and I've managed to pass first time for all of them. So yeah.
I don't think you don't need to overcomplicate it, right? I think you just listen. Obviously, I think what's important around that, the overarching strategy for that is structure and consistency. And that's exactly what Jason said about you. He said you were a very, very consistent studier. He would rock up to your weekly support sessions. He might have set you a target of doing 10 hours that week or X amount of lectures with X amount of lab exercises done. And 9 times out of 10, he's like, yeah, Dyllen had done those. And then I just set more targets and we did it again the next week. And so if you keep it simple, do the lectures, listen to your support officer, do the practice labs, do the practice exams, sit the exam, pass it, move on to the next one. You don't need to overcomplicate it, I think is the key takeaway there. So really well done. I think, and a lot for you as well, what he also said, which resonated a lot with me, and it's one of the major bits of advice I give to our students. And so for any students listening right now, I get why they do this, but they tend to really focus on the outcome, which is the job, right? You focus on, that analogy is the reason people don't get to the top of the mountain is because they've always got their head up looking at how far away it is. And they give up like, oh, that's so far away, I'm not going to be able to do that. As opposed to just putting their head down, one foot in front of the other, and just consistently moving forward. And so for anyone listening in, please listen to what Dyllen's saying here. He just kept it simple, listened to Jason, his support officer, did the work each week. And then before you know it, you lift your head up and you're at the top of the mountain, mate. So yeah, well done. Were you nervous about, I guess, coming into your studies? I know you had some IT background and base, but were you're nervous about upskilling and doing something different?
Not really. Yeah, I'd done my A+ and I'd started my network a few years back.
Yep.
And that was cool. That was through the Learning People. And so it was kind of just not the same, but it was the same process.
And I guess you started that with another training provider. Were you nervous about coming over to essentially the similar training provider, the same certifications, to be able to trust in us that we're going to get you a different result?
Yeah, I was actually. Yeah, because I didn't study. I wasn't consistent with them. So I ran out of time to complete all my certifications. And so that was the scary part, was that I wouldn't, complete my certifications, and I'd run out, and now I've spent all this money and I've nothing to show for it. So
well done on doing that, because you could have easily just thrown in the towel and gone, hey, no, I'm not going to do this again. Didn't do it right the first time. I'm not going to do it this time. That must have been a bit of a leap of faith that you took in us. So I'm really glad you did that. And I guess the key thing why you went with us, and you've said it probably a few times now, is the support. So shout out to Jason, your support officer, on doing that.
Yeah, shout out to Jason.
Okay, great. We've already probably gone through a few of these tricks and tips. Oh, actually, what I want to jump on before we've talked about the support, and it may be this, throughout your studies, as you said, you kept it simple. You did everything you needed to do when you passed all of your certifications. What did you enjoy about it the most? Because I really like talking about enjoying the process of your studying and learning these new skills. Was it the lectures, the labs, the mentors, the support? What was it?
I really enjoyed reading the books, surprisingly. Yeah, I found they were just easier to understand. I mostly watched videos and I would find like they'd repeat themselves, whereas I didn't have that problem with the books, and they'll split into very defined chapters and the chapters kind of fed into each other. But yeah, so the books were really enjoyable.
Yep, great. Great, mate. And I guess before I go through the next question, I want to talk a little bit more about, I'm putting you on the spot here. You've landed your role as a security officer within government. Have you lifted your head up a little bit? And I know you're only just into that role, but for me, the most exciting thing about cybersecurity is the career progression. You're in the industry now at an entry level role. You can progress to a mid-level and an advanced level role really, really quickly comparatively to other industries. Have you thought much about that, where you want to be in 5 years' time?
Yeah, so I've actually got an interview for another role next week.
Oh, so you're progressing quickly. You're in a role for a month, and you're like, I'm gonna go move up the ladder already. Tell us about that.
Oh well, I applied for it a few months back. Yeah, I was just kind of applying for anything and everything, and then yeah, they gave me sent me an email a couple of days ago, and they're like, yeah, let's set up an interview. So it's exciting, yeah.
And that'll be another level up from what you're doing now.
I think it's the same level, but I'm hoping it's a bit more involved in the role, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yep.
Like a broader range of responsibilities.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So you're going to learn a lot more in that
Yeah.
role to be able to progress you forward. And then like you want to stay within that technical space. We talk a lot about the technical side of cybersecurity or the consulting side. You love doing the technical work.
Yeah. Yeah. The technical work is what I enjoy.
And you mentioned red team earlier, like you want to go more down that pathway?
Yeah, I think that's the goal, because I really enjoyed the pen test certification.
Yep.
That was my favorite one. But I think time will tell, you never know, I might spend more time in the blue team space and enjoy that more. But
yep.
That's the goal, is red team.
Great. Awesome, mate. Well, no doubt you'll get there. Now, I'll go through the last question, which is what I ask all of our student guests who have come on and successfully landed a role in the industry. What are your 3 top tips for someone who's potentially sitting on the fence about whether they should get into cybersecurity now that you're in it and you actually know what's involved? You probably know about the need for more skilled workers like yourself in cybersecurity. What would be your 3 top tips for someone who's thinking about it but isn't sure whether it's for them or not?
It's kind of for everyone, Cybersecurity is a very broad industry, because I've actually spoken with a cybersecurity expert, and when we spoke, he was like, "Yeah, there's so many things you can do. It's kind of for everyone." So yeah, it's just do it. There's lots of work, lots of money to be made, and it doesn't have to be hard.
A lot of people shy away from the financial aspect of it all. They don't like talking about money, but it's important, right? Especially in this day and age. Is that one of the main motivators for you, right? To be able to set yourself up financially?
Yeah, definitely. I got 2 kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, so being able to provide for them is my main motivator. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? You want to be able to progress, learn more, earn more money, and be able to support your family. Geez, you're a young dad. How old are you?
I'm 23. They're my stepchildren, but they're my children. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing, mate. Amazing. Well, now you're in a secure role in a secure industry. That must feel really good to be able to go, okay, great. I'm just going to put my head down here, work hard, and put your family in a good position for the future. So that's awesome. Well done, mate. Hey, Dyllen, thanks so much for coming on the podcast and sharing your story. I know it's going to, motivate a lot of people, whether they're thinking about getting in the industry, listen to this, whether they're a student of ours listening going, hey, this has really motivated me to put extra hours in to study each week, whatever it might be. Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to get a lot out of it. So thank you very much.
No, thank you for having me, Adam.
Not a problem. We'll have to get you back on again, maybe in a year down the line, and we'll see, no doubt, where you've progressed within the industry. Everyone, if you did get some, I'm sure you did, but if you did get some value out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, give us a review. It's not something that I've been pushing all of last year. It's taken me 35 episodes to actually try and push people to do reviews. Apparently that really helps the rating of the podcast as well. So jump in and do that. If you want to know more about our job placement program that Dyllen went through, all you have to do is just head to cyberevolution.com.au, leave your details there, and someone from the team will be in touch. Thanks for listening, everyone.